We're going to review like the best practices of a pop-up. And again, this is going to be interactive. We're going to talk about this stuff together. We're going to identify the key components for success, observe ways to keep the momentum. So for me, it is okay to do a pop-up, but how do we keep that going? You either can or cannot. Like, remember the Hands Across Chicago, that's a one-day thing if you want to do that, to interrupt violence one place. But how I like to do it is like build some collaboration and some momentum around what we're doing. So after this workshop, we're hoping that you all will be able to, identify a few locations that you have your eyes on in your community, and then you just go for it. Okay, so the principles that we're seeing here, we really want to meet the needs of the people. Nothing in which we do, and for me, it's all going to be about faith. I'm not doing anything so that I could cause attention to me. Everything will be so that we can give attention to the Lord, so that people can go back and say, wow, look what the Lord has done. So, we are down here. But so that you keep the focus on the people, you keep the focus on Christ and the people. What impact do you want to make? These are questions that you want to say to yourself. What impact do I want to make with this pop-up? Some people, again, are just doing it just for something, trying to spend the grant that they have. I don't know. But for us, it's very intentional. What impact do you want to make? Start off your reverse engineering. Hello, sir. Y'all, this is Sergeant Brown. He is from the Blessed 15th District. They are doing phenomenal things. He always does a lot. But anyway, if you want to, I just want to say hello to you. Everybody. And then it's how can I set this community up for success in the long run? Again, you can just do one pop-up and that's over. Or we can think about doing something that's a little long-term, something that really will set them up for success. Are you giving space for the community's voice so that they could tell you what their needs are? This is huge. I have a block club, and I can't tell you how many times people have just come in and just done their own thing without even considering us as community members. It's rude for someone to just come in your house and start moving stuff around. So let's try not to just go into somebody's house and move stuff around, rearranging their furniture. That's not what we're called to do. And then the last thing, let's be practical. We're going to get to work after we have conversations, talk about what we want to do. You'll begin your mental planning. So this is what I call draw your blueprints. I spend a lot of times before I go out there into the community, kind of like visualizing what it is that I want to see. I can promise you nothing that I've ever seen up here has actually come out through here. It's because of the finances, though. Let me just tell you, I have a big, big, big vision, and it ends up being whatever we could do. And it's always good. Amen. However it came out is the way that it was supposed to come out, and praise the Lord. And then we were going to put your plans to action. All right. And so now we're going to go to the slideshow, which is really not that is the second tab. Is it? And the second one, they already know who I am. And so this is where now we're talking about the workshops. We're going to talk about best practices. So I don't know if you all were listening. So let me ask a few questions. Let me quiz you, test you. When they talked about going into a community, is it safe or not safe to just pop in without collaboration?
It's not safe.
It's not safe. Can somebody tell me why? What are some of the things that could happen wrong if you just pop up in the community and start doing stuff?
They don't know who you are.
They don't know who you are, so they don't trust you.
They're not being welcomed.
Said it.
Welcome.
You will not be welcomed.
You definitely can, interpret that any kind of way, so misunderstanding can happen as well.
Misunderstanding. Anybody else?
There's a lot to do with it. Timing.
Timing is absolutely. There's one thing that I am going to be willing to admit to you that I did that was probably not the best thing to do. Now, I do work with Breakthrough, but I did a pop-up with Breakthrough, and we were focused on one area. They had their violent prevention organizations canvass the area. I'm kind of like to do my own as well. So I went out there by myself.
Oh, no.
Yes. Y'all heard that what she just said? Because it was a oh no moment.
Yeah.
It was an oh no moment. But I was just getting off work. I didn't have time to call anybody. It was prompted like, I got time. Let me go circulate my own flyers. I went on the wrong side of the divide. Y'all know what that is, right? There's a different gang over here, and there's a different one over here. I went to the one over here, but we was having the event over here. So I started circulating flyers. At first they were like, great, until they started reading. And I got cussed smooth. Y'all know how you get cussed smooth out? I mean, smooth. I was like, do I run? Or like, do I break out in tongues? Do I lay down and play dead? Like, I don't know. So I really started having some more conversations with him. He wasn't trying to hear it. He said, by the time you come back, I'm going to tear down all these flyers that you put down here. Maybe 17 years old. That's how old he was. I called Breakthrough, and they were like, oh, you went past the divide line. Like that is, so they see the address of where you're having the event, and you're getting the heat because they're fighting with each other. Go along with people, please. They know what they're doing. Yes, I have the Lord. The Lord kept me safe. But there are things in which we could use. Some of it is wisdom. Some of it is wisdom. I got a little gun call, like, ooh, let me just do it. We don't do that no more. We don't. I do that in my own community. I was in an unknown area. I should not have done that. So, but let's identify resources that would be of value to the area. So we're talking about now doing a pop-up. So the very first thing, I brought that up so you'll know if you have an area in mind and you say, I see a lot of activity. I see that, things are broken down. I want to bring some light to this area. The number one thing that you want to do is find out who's the violent prevention organization in that area. Who is that? They all have geographical boundaries that they work from. I'm not quite sure about Together Chicago, because I see y'all kind of everywhere. Yes, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harshman, the Prayer Mobilization Coordinator for Together Chicago, and I also do the Intervention Connection with Together Chicago, and we are in near West Haven Park, East Garfield Park, Greater Grand Crossing.
Okay.
And this one, maybe?
We got some in Austin as well.
Okay, yeah, in Austin, and we're hoping to move into West Garfield Park as well.
So there you are. So you have and this is how it goes for me. If you don't specifically know what boundary or who actually is in that area, I only knew Breakthrough at the time. And I would call Breakthrough. Well, Breakthrough would also come out there with me alongside another partner. But they would say, oh, you're in the area of INVC. Then I reach out to INVC and then look at their calendar. This is kind of what I want to do. And then they could give you all of the information that you need. Please use your resources when you're thinking about resources that you want to bring into the community. So, but there are other things. Remember, we're thinking about what do we want to do in this community? What are some things, if you see gang activity, if you see, a lot of, people who are working the streets, what are some of the things that you all think you should bring into that community? I'll say a few. Clearly, the violent prevention organizations, right? If you see a lot of gang activity, they're good with talking with them, getting them, say it one more time, negotiating, they de-escalate certain, problems that are there, but they also try to get them jobs. They also try to get them other resources that they need. They may need their driver's license or their ID. There are other things in which other partners that you work with can bring to them. But if there is a lot of, people who work the street, or if there are a lot of people who have substance abuse disorder, what do you think there are some things that, just think about that. What can I bring into the community as a pop-up that would help all of it? So you're looking at everything. So when we talk about like agencies, organizations, businesses, healthcare providers, you may not know, but these are all the people who will come into the community with you. You will be the organizer. There's work that you have to do, reaching out to them, but they actually can come up with you. So your pop-up is just not you with a tent. Yes.
One of the things that we do, and I work.
Introduce.
My name is Brother Andre Hinton. I'm an outreach coordinator for Circle Urban Ministries in the Austin community. And one of the things we do, one of the things we're planning is to do care packets. And the care packets are done before we do the pop-up. We put our care packets in there, so if we have any resources for them, we can be able to do that. And as you said, we go as a team to the different neighborhoods or to the different houses. So if we're able to do that, Now we're providing resources. So if we're in a situation where there's a game and we have things
Yep.
of that nature, we can say, here's a care packet to let you know how much we love you, we're praying for you. And if they want to talk, we give them an opportunity to talk. If not, we
Yeah.
say, God bless you, and we keep it moving.
Yes, right. Keep it moving. It's very important. One of the things that I always do, I don't know if I explained it well, was the canvassing. I love to canvass the area. I love to canvass the area because you find out who are the key players. Again, you're canvassing the area with an organization. Breakthrough kind of did their thing on their own. I'm at work 9 to 5, so they do it like they were doing it during the day. I couldn't accompany them, but they honestly took care of their business. I would always see the flyers. There were signs that they were there, and the pop-ups were always full. They were populated with people because they did their job. But canvass in the area, if you can go along with the violent prevention organization, if they're comfortable just doing it without you. But you really want to do that. You want to prepare people that you're coming in. Again, we're not moving people's couches in their homes that they didn't invite us to. We're not doing that. We're not going into someone's shower and be like, I just want to take a shower. Oh, sorry, who are you? Sorry, what's your name? Like, call 911, you're about to get arrested, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to be respectful to people's spaces. But these are some of the services that you all may or may not know can help complement your pop-up and help people know your rights. There are tons of organizations doing Know Your Rights. Is there anybody here that's familiar with Cabrini Green Legal Aid? Got quite a few people. Cabrini Green Legal Aid has accompanied tent revivals with me. They have gone with, just different pop-ups. They've come to my block club party, right? They will come if you call them and schedule them, and someone in the community needs their services. So they tell you know your rights, not just as, you may be one of the players who aren't doing things well, but they want to help you still know your rights. And then, inch you into other services that they may have. So Cabrini Green Legal Aid or anyone else that's doing Know Your Rights. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I just wanted to put a plug really quick that Together Chicago does have gospel justice centers all over the city. So I was out on the street just like last week and I was talking to a lady, bringing up conversation, getting to know people in my neighborhood. And she brought up a situation and I was able to connect her to a gospel justice center. So it's a free attorney. Well, let me say it's a $35 dignity fee, but they can go to that attorney and get legal counsel and they can go back to that attorney as much as they need to.
I'm going to talk to you after this session.
Okay.
Also, for a long time, and we have some Know Your Rights educators back there,
Uh-huh.
but I was a program coordinator for AmeriCorps doing Know Your Rights education, and I worked with an organization called First Defense Legal Aid.
Y'all should be writing these things down now.
Which is also the organization that was able to transfer its services over to the public defender's office,
Okay.
where each individual here in the city of Chicago have access to an attorney as soon as they are arrested. And my late husband, their dad, has a law, Charles Law, where custodial suspects get 3 phone calls within 3 hours when they are arrested, due to just some of the issues that we have here.
Okay.
So First Defense Legal Aid is also an organization that will provide services for you, Know Your Rights education,
Okay.
workshops, and direct victims impact services.
So to be honest, I didn't even know that, right? I'm still growing on the list of people that we could use as an ally or, as a partner in the community. This is phenomenal. Thank God it's being recorded, so I don't have to write it down. I don't know. I'm going to go back to the recording.
So everybody can watch this on our website.
Everybody. We're going to direct you.
You don't have to worry about missing resources.
But I also do, when I write things, it to me. But victim services, community policing, this is huge. So when I first started out, some people did not know that there's a faith base in every police district. I don't want to say everyone that I have dealt with. Let me just say that. And it's all under their community policing. They have things for seniors. They have things for domestic violence. They have, am I missing something? Seniors, domestic violence. They have faith, youth. They have a huge thing with youth. If you want to get your children connected, the gentleman that was just here, Sergeant Brown, in the 15th district, they have a huge youth, DAC.
And you also have mental health, like what NAMI Chicago.
I don't know if I put that. Yes,
24/7 mental health support for substance abuse and mental health.
absolutely. There's a ton of organizations. Like if you just nudged me and said, hey, I kind of want to help with this, I'm telling you, it's endless. Then there's senior services. You have, it's on the top of my head, where Dee Velez works. Yes, out of my church, out of my old church.
Yeah, my different word.
I can't remember the name of his. We know people for senior services. I can't think of the green van, I want to say. But there are organizations that actually come out to your block specifically for seniors. Do you hear what if you have seniors on your block, or if you want to do a pop-up and there's a lot of seniors in the area, and you're going to know because what have you done beforehand? You have canvassed the area. So you will know how many seniors are there. You'll know how many youth are there. You'll know the bad players, the ones that we are, praying for, right? You'll know all of that. Food pantries, youth services, they have people that will come out and tell you about, if you have missed a cycle of bill pay. Like, that is a thing. Breakthrough is huge about some of those. There are services out there that will bless the people. So you're there to be a help and a guide for the people. You may not need the services, but where you're going, they're going to need the services. So just connect with the right people to partner with you. So choose the most convenient location for the community, not for you. That is very important. Well, try to do for both. It needs to be, you also need to be comfortable, but make sure that you're not setting up somewhere and you're asking the community to walk a couple of blocks to you and nothing else is there. Try and find a way where you're setting up, where you're blessing them. It's convenient for them. That is respectful. For me, that's kind of how I see being respectful to somebody. And then create an atmosphere to have fun. So if you're going to throw a party, tell me some of the things that you want at your party. Music. You want some music. Listen, and I hope all y'all deliver, but let's not say alcohol, but you do want some beverages. You want music, you want something that's refreshing, something that you can eat, but now we're talking about resources. If they have kids, children on the block, youth, try to think about those. What are some of the things that you can? Now, I'm telling you, I think bare necessity would be food, music, and resources. You can get away as long as you have those. I have popped up with no music, and they're going to come get the resources and leave. There's no reason for them to stay around, right? There is no reason. But if you make it convenient for them to come in, enjoy, if that's their favorite song, they're not leaving. They're going to enjoy that song. Now, if I'm doing a pop-up, it may not be your favorite song at first, but it's going to be. Because I normally do Christian music. Now, if I'm partnering with other people and they're paying for the DJ, I let them do the music that they want to do. But I ask, we don't want to do a lot of swear words and profanity because, first of all, they will, for the kids, no, for the big kid. For me, I also don't want to hear it. So, that's one of my rules. If they're paying for the DJ, I let them choose the music. I do make requests. Let's try to keep this clean. Yes, ma'am.
Games are also a great way to engage everybody.
Absolutely. I was actually going to say I bought online a Connect 4. I don't know how much I spent, $125. I don't know how much it was. We use it at the block club, but we use it at the pop-ups. But, I accompany with a table, and chairs so that the parents can sit while the kids are just, putting in, the Connect 4. I also typically love to do a bouncy house. My bare minimum when I try to do this is the food, the music. Of course, the food comes with also like water or pop, the music, and like a game or a bouncy house.
And seniors love bingo too.
Seniors love bingo. Yes, ma'am.
I got two more plugs. So that Connect 4 was just at Aldi's for $69. And then the city of Chicago actually have a jumping jack program.
Oh, that's right.
That you could get a bouncy house for free.
Yeah.
If you make the list.
I've never made the list.
I wish.
I don't know why.
I know. Maybe you have to like those summer camps that's free. You gotta get in on the
You got to
first
get
day,
it.
you
I
know.
think I didn't make it because the qualification is something like, is it your block? I don't know what they were. I was doing a pop-up somewhere. I was not the resident there, something like that. But
Okay.
Be the block club that has to put their information in and request a bouncy house.
yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a bounce. I think you can do it with your block club pop-ups. I think there's a way to do it if you work with someone. That's what your collaboration and partners is very key for having success in the community. But I'm telling you, once you do one and see kind of how easy it is, don't come look at my car, because I am a traveling pop-up. Seriously, tables, chairs, tents, even beverages and chips. I got it literally all in my car. Don't ask me for a ride. Yes.
Oh, just one last thing. I'm sorry. One thing that's good about the violence prevention organizations, especially the ones here out west, some of them have a grant for, what do you call it? Night and the
Night. Yes.
And maybe collaborating with them.
Absolutely.
You could get some of those things for free, like
Absolutely.
the bouncy house, because they're there, promoting that light in the night event, and you're there promoting your pop-up or whatever event
Absolutely.
that you're having. So
Absolutely.
collaborations are powerful in that way too as well.
Absolutely.
Cutting some of that cost down.
And that's what I typically do when I say when they're providing the music. Well, if I am collaborating with a violent prevention organization, they've already done like their food, their music, right? They already, so I am coming alongside them, and then they are, allowing me to, set up shop, bring in people or whatever. You can do it that way. You can also invite them into a space. If you have identified an area, now listen, this is what we also don't want to do. You do not want to treat a violent prevention organization as if I am the boss and you're going to do what I want to do. They have a full schedule. That's what I've learned. You want to do this on this day, got you. But we're also have multiple events on that day. It doesn't work for us. So it's important to start early if you can. If you want to do just a pop-up, overnight, something has happened, something, tragic has happened in the community, feel free to, reach out to the violent prevention organizations. They make way for that. They create space for that. For situations like that. But if you just want to, you just wasn't doing your homework, you weren't being responsible, and you're just like, oh, tomorrow I want to do this, and you want everybody to drop everything that they're doing for you, that may not work in your favor. You may have a tent and a table, unless you have your own music. Do you have any questions thus far? Let me stop.
I just have one very cheap idea. I just saw a video with adults playing hopscotch, and they were losing their minds because they felt like kids again.
Yeah.
And it's like one piece of chalk,
Yeah.
or 3 if you want to add colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a really cheap idea.
Yeah. Anything. The sky is the limit. Yes.
She made a comment about what you had commented on also about Aldi and the Connect 4.
Oh, this was this lady here.
Oh.
And right now it's $69 at Aldi's.
$69.
Which Aldi's?
I live on the south side,
Okay.
so the Aldi's that I went to and saw it was on 63rd. But I would check your
it wasn't.
local Aldi's or the 63rd and low.
And learn, okay.
But I would check your, whichever one.
I live in Englewood, so it's
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah.
There's one on 75th
Mhm.
on the States.
Yeah.
10 minutes? Okay, so connect with the community. Make sure you're asking questions and that you follow up. That's important. If you are not connecting with the community and asking them questions and at least trying to do a follow-up, because they're going to give you things to follow up on, were you really there for them? You know what I'm saying? Were you there for you? So it's important to connect with them. So let's go to our next slide. I don't even know what is next.
You got it.
Okay, so I'm going to go through this real quick so we can get to is this the last? This is the last slide, I think. Okay, so identify 1 or 2 locations that you desire to see improvement on. I've already said that is key. Location, location, location. Make the location convenient for the community members. Identify the violent prevention organizations in that area. We talked about that. If you don't know specifically which ones they are, know only if your area, if you're on the south side and they have target area, call target area and say, hey, who actually is assigned to this area? They're going to tell you. They will let you know. Contact the CAPS department. I want to say so that you can get the history and needed resources for that area. So visit their faith-based meetings. So there's history on every community that you go to. If you call your CAPS, which is your community, policing, they're going to let you know the history. Your violent prevention organizations will let you know as well. But there's just another partner that you can or cannot use. Sometimes I go into places with violent prevention organizations. They don't like to sit shoulder to shoulder with with CPD because it makes them look as if, if I share information with you, you're going to turn around and share it with CPD, and it doesn't help with their trust. So, up to you how you use that. But is there an established block club? I cannot tell you and emphasize this enough. I have a block club. Yes, you see some drug activity and you just pop up on the block and do something. I welcome all things. Listen, I just sit my husband like, go for it. But the proper thing to do would have been for them to actually, you see banners, you see that there's a block. You could have knocked on one door and they would say, oh, the block club president over there. One door. You ain't got to knock on all of them. Knock on one door, get one person. Even if people are frequent in the area, they're going to tell you, oh, church lady, she over there. So it kind of be respectful and mindful that people have their own things going on. And I had one person, they were doing something. We were also about to do something. So it's like we can share, but man, it would have been nice if you'd have knocked on our door and let us know. So established block club. Is there a church that has adopted the area? We do have a church that has adopted us. And if not, if there's a church around there, if you want to do a pop-up, what does it hurt for you at least try to get to know that church and invite them to the space that you're about to do? They may know more than what you think. And then we're going to lock in a date, circulate some flyers, which is also called, what's that? Canvassing. We want to canvass. You do all of your homework first. You do your canvas. You are completely set to go ahead and just start. Pop up. If you don't have tents, work with partners that may have tents. But you're a different person.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Switcheroo on a sister. All right. I'm not that old to where I did not see that happen. But anyway, their Connect 4 may be on sale. I got my tents on sale. I want to say I paid $40, $50. I said, let's get 4 tents. I've gotten tables on sale. I've gotten chairs on sale. Now, that was back in the day. I don't know what they're doing now. Whole nother thing going on. But anyway, I'm going to open up. Do you all have any questions? I do want to, highlight that, Brother Andre is also one of the ones, if you live on the west side, who could come and accompany one of your pop-ups, yeah.
A few things I do. When the last time I was with, at least I showed up to pray, but I also come with resources. A lot of times, in order for me to be welcomed into the pop-ups or people that know me in the community, we do Medicaid and SNAP applications for people. So that's called bans, or people that need to renew their applications. Those are some of the things that we advertise. But the other thing I do is I keep a contact of everybody I serve. And right now, I'm doing a contact from 2020 all the way up to today.
Wow.
Every person that I've served, every person that I've helped. So if I see them in the community doing a pop-up, I'm able to have an intelligent conversation with them. They can call me at Circle, or they call me, and their number will pop up on my cell phone. So I
Circle Urban Ministries.
Circle Urban Ministries on the west side of Chicago, so I know who I serve, what I serve. I'm able to look at their housing.
How many minutes?
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I was saying how many minutes? I'm sorry. Go ahead. We have 5 more minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm able to look at their housing and update their housing and see what's happening with that. If they missed a call from CHA, I'm able to call them and say, hey, you need to get in contact with them because they're trying to reach you for an apartment. And I'm going to move it.
Turn it back on. I want to say this. That's the first time here. But anyway, so let me say this. You have the state's attorney's office. I'm just going to mention some agencies. Do you know that they have an outreach department, that they will come out to your events if you call them, if you schedule that? You have, who does it? The Public Defender's Office. I had no earthly. They have an outreach. You have, who else? Come on, y'all, help me. Some agencies.
Department of On Aging.
Department of On Aging. Where do you get your license at? That Illinois State. No, if you have the Secretary of State has outreach. OEMC. That is the people who, you know, for your emergency, when you call 911, they will come out, set up a table, and give people flyers on the difference of 311, 911, and all kinds of things. They come with their own little toys. They give out their own, you know, little trinkets for everybody. So it takes less work off of you. It makes it interesting for people to go around. If you're looking for jobs, go to some of your workforce, you know, allocation centers. You know, for over here is North Lawndale. It's on, I can't tell you right now because my mind is going blank, but North Lawndale Training Center. It's they have also a employment agency in there. It's by Beloved Cafe. I can't remember the street, but contact these people. I'm telling, if you think of anything, like I said, even CPD will come out, right? Even who's over the CPD, the state troopers and stuff. Do you know they actually come out? Do you know that they have a ministry, or I don't think they call it ministry. I call everything ministry. It's not a ministry, but, you know, with dogs, comfort animals, support animals that will come out to an event and, like, you know, commune with the kids.
The fire department will too.
The fire department will come out. Listen, the sky's the limit. You do not know until you actually try. Do your homework. If you go to an event and you see other organizations out there, collect their cards.
The hospitals.
The hospitals come out. Rush comes out. They do.
County and the University of Chicago.
They come out.
They do blood pressure screening.
Anything. They'll even teach, the other day yesterday, OEMC.
Like I said that.
University of Chicago. And some other community organizations. They were teaching gunshot wound first aid. So,
they come out.
Yeah. They come out and show out.
You are limitless when it comes to your pop-up. I want to give room and space. Probably 2 minutes. Is there any questions that you all have? Do y'all feel fuzzy on any of these? No. And literally, you could do this with anything you do. I did a prayer walk and literally had a whole section of just all of these different organizations that were glad to come out and service the community. So that's all I have. No cowbell on me. I'm sorry. Nobody got to ring the cowbell this time. I finished in record time. Thank you all.